Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to read Peppa Pig, the Tooth Fairy. There's no author and no illustrator. Peppa Pig is created by Neville Astley and Mark Baker. Okay. The Tooth Fairy. Once upon a time, there was a clever little pig named Peppa. She was very proud of her teeth. Grunt, grunt. So Peppa's brushing her teeth. Peppa and her brother George knew how to take care of their teeth. They brushed them every morning and every evening. George is also brush, brush. Peppa and George loved playing dentist. Peppa would pretend to be the dentist and George would be her assistant. George's toy dinosaur was the patient. What lovely clean teeth you have, Mr. Dinosaur. Peppa smiled. Grrr, said George. This is George and this is Mr. Dinosaur. And there's Peppa as a nurse. And then they have their little bunk bed for sleeping. One day, after playing their dentist game, Peppa and George were eating their dinner. Suddenly, something fell onto Peppa's plate. That's Daddy Pig, George in his high chair, Peppa and Mummy Pig. Clatter, clatter, it made Peppa jump. What's that, she asked. Ho, ho, it's a tooth, Daddy Pig laughed. But where is it from, asked Peppa. Why don't you look in the mirror, said Mummy Pig. Peppa looked. She had a big gap in her teeth. Oh no, Peppa cried. Do we need to go see Dr. Elephant? Ho, ho, ho. No, said Mummy Pig. It's just a baby tooth. It's meant to fall out. So Peppa has a big gap and just looking at herself in the mirror, a little bit worried. A baby tooth? What's that? asked Peppa. A baby tooth is a tooth that falls out when you're young, explained Mummy Pig. A new one will grow in its place. What should I do with my baby tooth? asked Peppa. If you place it under your pillow, the tooth fairy will come. She will take your tooth and leave you a shiny new coin, said Mummy Pig. Oh, Peppa is like imagining the tooth fairy coming to give her some money. That evening, while Peppa watched television with her family, she kept thinking about the tooth fairy. There's Mommy Pig reading a book, Daddy Pig, Peppa, and George with Mr. Dinosaur. When I grow up, I want to be a tooth fairy, said Peppa. Daddy Pig chuckled. What about you, George? asked Daddy. George pointed at his dinosaur. Dinosaur growled. Hee hee hee. Watching TV. Come on, George, shouted Peppa. We don't want to miss the tooth fairy. They both ran up the stairs to get ready for bed. What are you doing, Peppa? asked Daddy Pig. Peppa was carefully brushing her baby tooth. I want it to be nice and clean for the tooth fairy, said Peppa. Snort, snort. Peppa tucked the tooth under her pillow. Are you sure the tooth fairy will be able to find it, she asked. I promise, says Mummy Pig. Just wait and see. Good night, Peppa and George. Good night, Mummy. Good night, Daddy. Hee hee hee. So there's Peppa and George's artwork. And then now they're tucking to bed. Their little bunk bed. Snore. I'm going to wait up all night for the tooth fairy, Peppa said. George, let's not go to sleep. George smiled and nodded. Peppa waited and waited. Snore, snore. She could hear something. Is that the tooth fairy? Peppa wondered. George whispered. Did you hear that? Can you see the tooth fairy? She climbed down to look at George. He was fast asleep. It was him making the noise. I am much better at staying awake than George, Peppa sighed. She settled back in her chair. After a while, her eyes started to close. She quickly opened them again. I'm going to stay awake and see the tooth fairy, Peppa said to herself firmly. Snore, snore, but soon she was asleep. So there's the little tooth fairy in the window. Tinkle, tinkle, what was that? And George and Peppa are both sleeping. And then the little tooth fairy comes with the coin. It was the tooth fairy. Hello, Peppa, she whispered. Would you like a coin exchange for your tooth? The tooth fairy gently took Peppa's tooth out from under the pillow and put a shiny coin in its place. What a lovely clean tooth, the fairy said. Thank you very much. Flutter, flutter, flutter. The next morning, Peppa found the shiny coin under her pillow. Mummy, the tooth fairy, did come after all, she shouted, jumping up and down. I wish I had seen the tooth fairy, Peppa sighed. Next time, I'm definitely going to stay awake all night. So snort, hee hee. Okay, that's the end of the book. And there are some other Peppa books in the series. Look for more Peppa books. Okay, thank you for watching.